if you can stick it out for season one, definitely. You, I don't even know where. I don't even know why you would be hating on Tokyo Revengers right now.
Wake up to reality. Nothing ever goes as planned in this accursed world. The longer you live, the more you will realize that the only things that truly exist in this reality are merely pain, suffering, and futility.
What up, YouTube? We're back. Madra's Corner, Anime Weekly. Let's get into it. Tokyo Revengers, Episode 7. This was probably, I don't want to say it was the best, but it had some, it's keeping the momentum going, is what I'll say. It's not faltering, where usually animes, they give you something good and then they fall back, and then they good and fall back. It's keeping the storyline. It's keeping the needle moving like we like in our animes. A little recap for it. Of course, it's the Christmas showdown with everything. You got Takamichi, another episode of him crying, another episode of him getting whooped. And I mean, this episode, he probably gets beat up the most we've seen. He's really trying to figure out everything that's going on with the future of how Taiju getting killed and everything turns into that. And you start to see him with Mitsuya comes into the picture, and pretty much it's all in the church still. You find out that, he's contemplating how the future is going to turn out, who kills Taiju, how it is. And he finally has a grown-up moment where he kind of realizes, like, okay, maybe it's not what I'm thinking at first. Let me think of all the outcomes. And at that point, though, Matsuya kind of saves him, and he's kind of surprised. He's like, what the heck? And he's like, where are you at? Like, why are you here? And he basically is furious, like, at Taiju, like, you don't hit your sister, you don't do that. We've seen him in the past episodes. He's a big on family with his siblings. And he ends up going one-on-one with Taiju. And I mean, this guy can hit, can take some punches. We've seen him fight over the season. And it's one of those things where you finally got to see more of Toman, somebody in Toman that can fight and everything. And I mean, they're pretty much all still trying to save Hakai from his brother. And you end up seeing that Shifu was pretty much helped out. That he didn't trust Kisaki and them at all, which is a good thing, because we already knew you couldn't trust him. And at the point of it, though, you start to see Taiju, I guess, leveling up 70% and everything else. And then it comes down to Matsui basically, he ends up getting, what was it? I think they called it a death blow.
Yeah, he did call it a death blow. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, he ends up pretty much being down, and he ends up telling Hakai, like, hey, we're gonna take on him. I mean, it was a lot of fighting for Tokyo Revengers. It was a lot of brawling, but he keeps telling, like, Hakai, like, hey, you can beat him. Like, stop being scared of your brother. Like, and he puts all his faith in him and everything. But before that, he ended up getting hit with a metal pipe to the I guess the forehead or the face. So it ends up coming out that, of course, the Black Dragons, they end up knowing about it. They end up trying to, I guess, kill. I guess they thought they were going to kill him, at least. Inu and Kokono, they come in, plans all there. Kokono's like, that's worth $100,000, right? Or for my info. So you start to see the story playing out. Like, it was all a setup. They were going to take him down. They knew it. They played him. And when he tells a guy, like, hey, you're going to help me take your brother down, Shifu, you're going to take on one, Takamichi, you're going to take on one, and that's all we need to do. And it's funny because you get a moment where, like, Takamichi's, like, crying, and then he gets serious, and he's like, you know what? We got this. All we have to do is wait, because Mikey and Dragon are coming, and we're good. And then you realize, like, hey, I didn't. Matsu's like, I didn't call anybody, dude. This is between us. Like, there's nothing to do with Toman. And he gets so like depressed and scared. And he realizes, like, okay, this is it. It's just us. And at that point, you end up. It comes down to where there's something. I mean, Hakai is just super scared of his brother, and he talked about the secret, and we don't know what the secret is, but when he went up to fight him, he looked like he couldn't do it. Like, he just was scared. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he has something on him or he has something against him. And then it comes down to pretty much Takamichi having to do, what is it, his talk no jutsu, or that you always say, and he kind of grows a pair. I mean, he gets whooped. This is one thing, like, one episode where you see him, like, I'm like, okay, you're taking a beating. I kind of give it to you. But he goes up there and he reminisces on he never gives up. And that's one thing that I always told him, like, you never give up. You always go, even if you know you're going to get beat up. And it kind of is that resolve, I feel, where, like, that's why Shifu follows him. That's why he's liked in Toman, because he has heart. He goes out there and he's, like he said in the end of it with the cliffhanger, is my goal now is to beat you and take over Black Dragon. And I don't know if he's going to be able to do that, because this dude is gushing blood. He looks like he's down and out after almost getting hit with another what's called church pew. So, yeah, I mean, it was a fast recap, but I feel like there was so much time, like, between the talking. You got a lot of family flashbacks, of course, flashback to why Hakai being who he was in the future, owning Black Dragon. So, but mainly the meat was I feel that moment of them fighting, and it was more action than I thought I was going to get for Tokyo Revengers.
No, absolutely, man. I have to agree with you. One of the things they said that this is a more lengthy episode. It felt really long, which is kind of true. I have to agree with them. It did feel really long, but it was good. And it left us on a cliffhanger at the end. Like, is Hakai going to join the fight? Is he finally going to get his resolve? Like, because he's talking like a few hours ago, talking about how I'm gonna kill everybody, and I'm gonna make them pay. And then when it comes to actually doing it, Tamagichi grabs the knife like he has a pair. When this whole time he's been beaten up, dog dirty every single episode. Then he gets up and now he's gonna make a difference. He's gonna make an impact, right? I don't know, man. that. And then there he goes again. There he goes again, announcing people's plans before they happen, giving away everybody's strategy. He's like, "Oh, what was it? Okay. So he went and grabbed a hold of Coco, right? Tamagichi grabbed a hold of Coco. He's trying to force him to the ground. Which, look, I don't know if you're gonna join a gang. At least have a weekly session of jiu-jitsu practice or karate practice or some type of martial arts, because these Tamagichi sucks. Like, if I ever got into a street fight with him, I would do the same thing Coco was doing. Like, are you gonna hug me the whole time? Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, are you fighting, dude? Like, because it's kind of weird because, like, he's not throwing punches,
Yeah.
He's like what do they call it? A non-aggressor fighter, meaning like he'll take you to the like a jiu-jitsu, like he'll take you to the mat, right? But I mean, the most he's gonna do is like put his weight on you, right? He's like really not gonna really try to get you any hard submissions. He's gonna try to figure something light on you, right? So it's like you got to be aggressive, man, and like. He's not aggressive. He just wants to get slapped around. I don't know. Maybe he's a sadist, man. Maybe he loves getting beat up, bro. And like we're just gonna learn in the future that's his kink, right? Like to get beat up. So I don't know, man. Like that is one of the biggest things that like kind of disappointment for me because I wanted to see Tamagichi like really, really like step up as a fighter, right? I just don't see it, and that's kind of like a letdown on that. But like Inoue and Coco coming out of the woodworks, like why they decided to trust what's his name? I said Kakashi, but that's not his
Kisaki.
name. Yeah, Kisaki. Yeah, why they decided to trust him, Kisaki? Why did they try to trust him? Who knows, man? Like that. Chifu kind of like realized like, hey, we may get betrayed by these guys, so that's why he called Mitsuya to come and join in the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of like forethought was really good. When Taiju picked up the pew and then he literally lifted with one hand over his head. That's like what, dude? Like what, man? Like this man got superhuman powers, man. And then he's only at 70%, right?
Yeah.
That had to have been like the most funniest thing when he was beating down on Mitsuya and Mitsuya like went down on one knee. And dude, I started cracking up really loud, and he was like, "Hey." He was like, well, don't act like you won, bro. I'm just fixing my shoelaces.
Yeah.
You know, like dude, that was like a G moment, you know?
Yeah.
Right, because for every one punch he threw, like he was getting smacked 3 to 4 times, you know. So like him saying that was like pretty G moment, man, where he was like, "Hey man, I was just tying my shoe, bro." You know, it was just like don't act like you won. You know, so yeah. Inoue like decided like to sneak and you gotta that's like the difference between these two factions of fighters, you know. Inoue coming out through the woodworks with a lead pipe to like knock Mitsuya in the head, like that's a true game, you know. Like they're not gonna fight fair. They're not gonna fight with the code and rules like Toman is trying to, you know. Like I don't know why whenever Mitsuya was beaten on Taiju, like why didn't Chifu and Tamagichi jump in there? You know, and all three of them just started like, you know, raw dogging him, you know, trying to take him down, you know, like I thought they were there to stop him. Yeah, I was waiting for that too. I was like, why did they all just three started attacking him, you know? Like it's crazy, you know, because hey, he didn't care. Like he was like, oh man, I'm gonna let Inoue you know, smack him in the head with a lead pipe, you know, like where's the fairness in that, right? And then so with that being said, Tamagichi like Takemichi, I said Tamagichi every single time. Takemichi, you know, has that moment where he's like, "Oh man, I'm gonna stand up and be strong. I'm gonna take over Black Dragon." It's like, bruh, you gonna cry your way into this, man? Like literally, no joke. When I went to go watch this episode, right? I clicked on the episode, but I was on season 1. And it said it was the episode "The Biggest Crybaby," and I was like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." I was like, "I'm watching the right episode. This is episode 7." Like he's gonna cry his way through this episode. I didn't even question it until like I started getting into the episode. I'm like, "Wait a second, this isn't where I left off." And I went back and looked. And I was like, "Oh damn, I'm on season 1." Like, man, I was like, I totally agreed with it. I was like, yeah, he's the biggest crybaby. I ain't gonna lie. But as far as the episode goes, I really liked it. I think it was a really great episode, man. Some people may be frustrated with it, but I'm not. I was like, it left me in the cliffhanger. Like, hey, I want more. You know, one of my favorite reviewers right here on LeisureBites.com, you know, she says that it is a tad bit frustrating having to wait another week, and I'm like, dude, that's the way I want my anime to be. I know we live in a society now where we're like I even mentioned before we even started, I wish it just dumped all 11 or all 13 whatever episodes of, you know, Tokyo Revenge, because you just want to binge watch it. It's that good, you know. It's starting to pick up where we're like, yeah, this is good. This is where I want to be at. So, you know, I like it, man. It was a really great episode. So with that being said, Nick, where you at with this episode?
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm gonna give it a 4. Nothing bad against it. I mean, I could have gave it a 5, but I just feel I'm gonna save that. I think I gave it a 5 last week because it did a drastic change. We give it a 4 because it's staying consistent. There's still things that were kind of like the Takamichi, bro. I need you to do something. I don't jujitsu, freaking Muay Thai, something, bro. Like learn some boxing moves. I need go watch Baji or all these other anime. Figure something out, dog. Because I need you to do something like. But I mean, it's him. That's his story. So I kind of accepted it. The artwork, the fighting, I like it. Yeah, I mean, we still have that. What do you do? You say that fantastical, the throwing of the thing, but I think we've already seen it once. So I'm like, all right, you're gonna do it.
Yeah. I was waiting for more like another like him grabbing bodies and tossing them out of the way. That's what I thought he was gonna do. I really thought they were gonna gang up on him. Like I don't know, like the word in their whole association told me, gang. A group of guys are gonna go beat down on somebody. I thought that was gonna happen, and man, they we're gonna honorably fight 1-on-1 until dude, you're a street fighter, bro. Takamichi, man, get some street fighting skills in. I mean something, man. Okay, let me just take this. He goes to the future, right? And you're going to tell me, in all of his future endeavors going into the future, he never thought about, let me learn some karate, let me learn some boxing, let me learn some, street fighting, something, no, so I don't know. It's crazy. But as for me, I have to agree. I would give it definitely a 4 because it did feel really long, this episode. Only because it was a mix. It was like a little bit of fighting, a little bit of talking, a little bit of fighting. That whole going back to Hakai, not like resolving his, getting his resolve to fight and to do something, that kind of slowed it down a little for me. It was like that could have been a little faster paced. And then especially when Tamagichi grabbed the knife and the thing was like, I'm not gonna let you do this. It's like, come on, dude. You're you're not doing anything. If he was truly able to stop him, then I would be agreeing with him. But at this point, it's like you're fighting for your life and everybody's life there. That's the kind of situation that I could see why Hakai killed him, is because they're all fighting for their lives. And then here comes Tamagichi. I'm gonna stop you, bro. You just spent the last what? Well, they've been fighting for 12 minutes, not even 10 minutes, maybe, right? It's you just spent the past 5 minutes being beat down like nothing. So we'll see what happens next week. But I definitely agree. I think it was a really great episode. It was something that we thoroughly enjoyed. So yes, yay to them.
I don't get the hate for it, and from what I've read, it's pretty much, I don't like it because it's on Disney, or I don't like it because it's on Hulu. And it's like, are you kidding me? That's your argument, or it's not living up to season 1. Yeah, it's only 7 episodes in. I mean, at the end of it, if you wanted to compare the 2 seasons, fine, I guess. I mean, there's a lot of animes that falter on season 2 and then come back season 3. I mean, you can't. Some of these arguments, it's just I don't get it. And I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. I mean, it's wrong, but you're entitled to it. And at this point, I'm just I don't get the arguments of it. People that love Tokyo Revengers, you're loving it because you're getting something you're not used to. Like you said, we know it's a talking anime. It's a lot of talking, drama, mystery, trying to figure this out. And then you get into fighting, you're like, yes, finally, this is what I've been waiting for. And it's been good. It's been legit. And it seems like it's just leading into even more. I'm like, give it a chance, people. Give it a chance. I promise you that especially if you're getting to binge it, you're going to be even more happier. Because I'm I'm aggravated to a good point, like you said earlier. I have to wait now, and that's what I want. If I'm gonna wait, and I'm waiting 5 days. When's that timer? When's that timer coming in? 5, 4. Like I want it now, and I want to see it. I'm making time for it, and so it's right there. I mean, I'm a One Piece person, and I already know what's gonna happen, and I don't even care about these next 5 episodes because I'm just waiting to the point that I want to see animated, and that's all right. Yeah, like I'll get to it when I get to it. Like
I mean, last season was 24 episodes. I mean, we're episode 7. You know, like let's give it some time, bro. You know, and to be quite frank, like I'm looking in here, like episode 7 for last season was still all talk. So we're definitely ahead of the game in regards to action, in regards to like a lot of action. You know, like they haven't even got to like compared to season 1, they haven't even got to Valhalla fight. They haven't got to the revolt yet. You know what I'm saying? Like they haven't got anywhere. You know, compared to season 1. So if you can stick it out for season 1, definitely you. I don't even know why you would be hating on Tokyo Revengers right now. That's kind of weird. You know, compared to the other show that we're doing, the love for that is like freaking retarded.
I know there's a lot of people though that I guess they were waiting for it on Crunchyroll, and so they don't know it's out yet. I've been seeing a lot of that the past, like after this episode.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know it was out," and I'm like, "Okay, maybe it's gonna start getting some of the respect it deserves." Because I'm not saying it's the best anime ever, but it deserves the credibility that it's giving us, I feel. And that's what we want in anime. You've always say, we have to keep them accountable, and it's doing good. So I'm going to keep giving it good grades like you are. And I mean, it deserves it.
Yeah. And definitely don't like, if you look back on our past videos, I think we went low, like 2 and a 3 prior, because it was like, it did nothing. The story was a filler episode, and it was a disappointing filler episode. Didn't give us anything. Didn't move the story. Didn't advance nothing. So yeah, definitely. We're it's never always just like you said, it's never just the all 4 stars. But like right now, while it's kicking butt, let's ride the train and let's have some fun. And definitely. I thought it was on Crunchyroll as well. And I think they did the first couple of episodes on Crunchyroll because I remember watching it on Crunchyroll, and then all of a sudden it's gone. It's not there. It's only season 1, and I didn't know that either. And then now I noticed, and I went back and I was like, "Nah, I'm watching it strictly on Hulu right now," and I didn't even realize that. I thought it was on Crunchyroll too. So yeah, I can see why people are upset. But hey, man, that's the way of the game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I got 8 subscriptions, man. Like, goddamn, that's the way of the game, right?
Get used to it in anime. Companies are gonna start buying these other animes that people they know that look at Bleach. Bleach guy was on Hulu. It's like you're gonna have to get used to it or find places. I mean, that's up to you, but
like the manga, I'm learning because I never really like go into hardcore manga like the way I'm now. But manga has like everyone has their own subscription freaking service. Like I go to Viz Comics for a manga, it's not there. I go, I have to like search the name and like, oh no, the publisher puts out their own anime combo, manga subscription services. That's another $1.99, $2.99. And it's like, like you, and I'm up to like I said, like I'm up to like 5 right now that each manga is like its own publisher with its own thing. I'm like, Jesus, man, like, no way, man. I thought I could just jump on Shonen or Viz or like Viz Comics is Shonen now. I thought I could just jump on Shonen and like everything was gonna be up. Then I find out like, nah, man, like they're limited to theirs, and then they have their other ones, So I'm like, oh Lord, man. So it gets there, man. It gets you. So like stick with it. Tokyo Revengers this season 2 is a lot better than season 1. I'll throw that out there right now. I think it's a lot better. hopefully things start really picking up. We're just barely at the Christmas arc, and then I think there's a lot more. I don't know all the arcs in Tokyo Revengers, but
I think there's 4 so far. Yeah. And we're
okay,
like,
all right.
yeah.
Okay, so so hopefully everything goes well. But in my book, this one's rocking, man.
Yeah. Well, you made it to this point, guys. Like, subscribe to the network right here. We talk about all anime. We got a lot of different ones coming out, especially with spring coming out. We got some new ones coming out for sure. We're gonna be doing shorts. Go follow us on our TikTok. Go follow us on Instagram. We're gonna be posting a lot of stuff. You can follow on our Facebook group also. Keep up with all the content, man. Let us know in the comments what animes you want us to talk about, break down week to week, what mangas you want us to read or whatever. We're here for you. We're here to talk about it. We're here to give you our honest ratings, not anything biased. We don't work for any of these animes, so we can be honest with you. That being said, man,
yeah, that we're not trying to buy for the subscription of those animes, because let me tell you, you jump on some of those groups and they working extra hard to get onto these groups, to get on some mailing list or free gift list or something, man.
Yeah,
because you're just like, what?
Yeah,
we're honest,
man. We're honest with y'all, man. If you don't like it, hey, I understand. But make sure y'all follow, man. Like all the videos. It does wonders for us, man. We're out. Love y'all.
Nice.